New York City, 2025, the capital of the world. A city of glass and gold, bathing in the warmth of a setting sun. From the sky, it looked invincible, a monument to human ambition, endless traffic, endless lights, endless dreams. But beneath the glamour of Times Square and the rush of the subway, the clock was already ticking. We were so busy looking at our screens that we forgot to look at the sky. The storms were gathering. The warnings were flashing on screens in quiet laboratories, unnoticed by the crowds below. We saw the water rising against the Battery Park seawall, but we thought it was just another high tide. We saw storm clouds swirling around the Empire State, and we called it cinematic. We didn't know it then, but we were witnessing the end of an era and the beginning of a long, dark war against nature itself. By 2060, the age of denial ended, and the age of resistance began. We built the Big U, a massive wall of steel and concrete wrapped around Manhattan. We thought we could tame the ocean. We thought engineering was stronger than the elements. Decades passed. By 2125, New York became a fortress. Skyscrapers connected by bridges in the sky. A city that learned to fly above the danger. It was a cyberpunk dream. Bioluminescent lights cutting through eternal gloom. Vertical farms feeding a population that had forgotten what the ground floor looked like. We survived, but we were living in a cage of our own making. Outside the reinforced blast, the storms raged. Inside, we watched holographic maps as red flood lines crept closer. We were a city holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable breach. And then the walls gave way. Not with a bang, but with a crack. The ocean, patient and relentless, finally poured in. Streets we once walked became riverbeds. There was panic, and then a strange calm. As families moved to upper floors, as avenues turned into canals, the noise of the old world faded. Traffic stopped. Horns fell silent. The sun set over a mirror-like city, reflecting a beauty we hadn't seen in centuries. Nature reclaimed what was hers. Vines climbed steel beams. Flowers bloomed from cracked concrete, surrounded by the very water we tried so hard to keep out. It was the end of the fortress and the beginning of the garden. By 2225, 200 years later, the water was no longer our enemy. It was our lifeblood. The storms had cleared, replaced by the bright sun of a new world. Fifth Avenue became a crystal-clear canal, alive with electric gondolas and floating markets. We stopped fighting the planet and started living with it. The Brooklyn Bridge became a green park. One World Trade Center glowed, not just as an office, but as an atmospheric energy tower. Children dove into the water from fire escapes, playing where ancestors once sat in traffic. Life became simpler and richer. We grew food on rooftops. We fished from balconies. At night, bioluminescent algae lit the waterways like stars. Even whales returned to the Hudson, swimming past the green skyline, a reminder that life always finds a way. From the deep, we found relics of the past, Old coins, old signs, echoes of a time when we thought money was the only wealth. Now, watching the sunset from floating terraces, we understand the truth. Survival was never about building higher walls. It was about learning to float. The lady in the harbor still stands, waist deep in water. Her torch burns brighter than ever. She watches over a city that refused to die, a city that evolved. New York City, 2025 to forever. This is our story.